Very, very warm good evening, everybody. This is Arunava Chaudhary. You're back on my YouTube channel, Arun Foot. It's October the 4th here in Germany. In India, it's already October the 5th. And everybody, yeah, great to see you all, whoever is joining in at this late hour. Sorry, I couldn't do a show earlier today because I was busy with our Durga Puja preparations. Ma Durga traveled today to a hall, and and therefore it was a little difficult to get all of those things organized, and therefore, sorry, again, I have a problem here with my laptop. And that is something which was important, and therefore, yeah, later than originally planned or envisaged to be doing a show, but thought still, next 2 days is going to be tougher to do a show. So I thought, maybe today, at least come back and do something, and run the show pass by you guys, and do that, and let's talk and chat about Indian football. FC Goa, Northeast United, 3-3. Great 2-2 yesterday between Odisha FC and Kerala Blasters. Tomorrow, double header, Jamshedpur East Bengal and Mohammedan versus Mohun Bagan. So all the Kolkata Giants in action tomorrow. That's going to be an interesting one as well. So we can look forward most probably to some very, very interesting, delightful football, hopefully. And we'll see how that really then pans out as well. Will be interesting to see. And therefore, what do they do? Yes, Akash, also from my side. Yes, Vaman, good to see you. Navratri, yes. All my best wishes to you also on Navratri, Vaman. And therefore, guys, trying to the screen is doing this thing again. This is the part of the problem. This is it, in regard to what is all happening in Indian football, and again, also announced today, of course, that India Vietnam would only play each other once. Yesterday I had done another video on the topic of who has Manolo really called up, why has Manolo called the players up, and all. Felt it's an interesting scenario in which the Indian national team is, in my opinion, and on that side also, and how does Manolo from Manolo's side to request 2 matches against Vietnam? And for me, I felt that would have been wiser in a way to decide and say, listen, guys, let's play 2 matches. Okay, one is an official, one is an unofficial game. To give exposure to the national team, to the boys, to some of the boys who are not playing regularly for the national team. I thought that might have been a wise move by Manolo. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my feeling, as I say, and to me is, and that's the challenge. That's the challenge that we're facing now. Sorry, I just have to register. That we are in a situation that we are in, and hopefully, that again, people are unhappy with the selections and all, which I find understandable on one side. On the other side, Manolo as a coach has to take those decisions, and he has to then also live with those decisions. I think, to me, is not easy, in the current Indian football context, to make those decisions, but Manolo has to take those calls, and he thinks that it is wise. And therefore, that's those are the realities that are there, and therefore, these are the things that are happening at the moment. So therefore, to me, it's not an easy scenario, I guess. And we come back and talk about these things again and again and again, and one has to live with it, right? It's not the first time. It happened last year also. Sorry, one more registration I have to do to get back onto the channel. So these are all things that are happening, and These are all challenges that are there, and um, you know, for me, um, it continues to be a challenge, and I don't know, I really don't know how things are going to progress. But as I said, Manolo has my full support, and March will be the time that I'm going to judge him and his decisions. And at the moment, I feel, yeah. I think so. Finding a third team to play won't be possible, so just playing one match makes sense. But what doesn't make sense till now is the squad. I don't know if, again, yes, to you it might not make sense, Vaman, but to me is, if you, and I've said this multiple times, to me, I never felt that Manolo will make a revolution. Manolo will make few changes here and there, uh, um, you know, and that's the reality. If anyone thought that Manolo is going to change 8 to 10 players and he's going to bring in this player, that player, as one has seen clearly, he has taken in the first one in September some players that he knew from FC Goa and former players from Hyderabad FC. You know, interesting. I found that he said last year himself, you know what, Jay Gupta is not ready for international football. Played him even, had to realize it, hasn't called him up now. Now he's called up players. Seems to, again, he has a very good relationship with Owen Coyle, which is visible by the call ups of some surprise Chennai players. And again, yes, Jitin MS is a player who I would have said most probably a few months ago, too early maybe, or not ready. Now I feel he's shown enough to at least get a chance. Doesn't get a chance, and then the question is, who do you take out and who you replace? If I'm going to replace 10 players, that breaks down the stability. Let's see. Try series with Vietnam. What a joke, says Akshat. Try nation without 3 teams. What? See, Akshat, you might find it a joke, but these are the realities of what's happening around the world, right? So these are the dangers. It's and with Lebanon, I thought Lebanon might say, you know what, we're gonna bring in a team of players of origin, which they could, and their coach is also theoretically available, but they decided not to do it. Okay, it's up to them because local football at the moment is resting, and then it's Vietnam and India, and that's the risk. Last year it happened to India as well. Merdeka Cup, India lost to Malaysia, didn't qualify for the final, and just played one match because Palestine pulled out after what happened over there. Hi Mihar, welcome back. Chinese become worst year for Indian national team. No, I don't think so. Akash, I wouldn't say that because these things happen, and this is not. I know we love to all talk about the AIFF, um, but yeah, these are the realities. Manolo is trying to piece together what somewhat has been destroyed by Mr. Steamers. Goa under Manolo is struggling. Saw today's game, and Goa was lucky to get a draw. What's happened to Manolo? Akash, happens, right? And again, we need to go back to the point of ask the question how, why. So let's see. Will AFF arrange another friendly for November? Rushabh, as far as I know, yes. There's supposed to be 2 matches. Malaysia is one, has been confirmed. Um, and to me, let's see who the other one is. So, your thoughts on average age of Indian football squad? Akshat, I feel it's rising because it proves the point that we have a talent problem. You know, if I see things, um, you know, even a Jitin MS is not the youngest player. Already has age on his side. Akash Sangwan also much older. It shows you we have a talent problem at the moment. Nobody wants to talk about it. Maya says, sir, एक बात बताओ, why India refused to play twice? वैसे 2 दिन का कैंप मिल रहा था. अगर 9th October को मैच होता, now 2 days extra has been given. What can be changed in extra 2 days or can sort out? I don't know. It does change a little bit. I think we're not talking about 2 days. So, they arrive on the 7th now, get 8, 9, 10, 11th. So 4 days of training. Mm, I think it helps the coach to look at things, to try out things. But is it going to make a substantial change? I don't think so. Um, so for me, is very clear that he'll try and work on things. Yeah, that is something that he can work on. But if you ask me, I would have said, listen, let's play on the 9th and the 12th. The 9th is the unofficial match, and the official match is on the 12th. And you start with the so-called B team. I think that would be, in my opinion, that might have been a good option to give your inexperienced players some experience, so to say. One word answer: biggest fraud in Indian football. Okay, what do you feel? AFC decision to be for Mohun Bagan and tractor match. Woman, if I see that the AFC has told Al Nasser that they have to play on the 22nd in Iran, Mohun Bagan didn't go. Yeah, I think then the decision is relatively easy. Match practice, what these group of players need. Long camps to Igor Stimac ke time par bhi mile. I don't know why AFF refused, as I'm not getting what's the idea behind this. Mayor, it's not a question of the AIFF, it's of the global football calendar. You get 3 to 5 days everywhere. Why do we not want to um, to that we are part of? Again, every other team has this issue around the world. Everyone who has a proper league running has this issue. So before a coach comes in, he will have to know and remember 3 to 5 days is the normal time before your first match. And theoretically, maybe in the summer, you might get a little bit more time. Very simple. Any update regarding women's team and upcoming women's ACL? Women's ACL dates are fixed. They're going to happen in the coming days. And on the national team, yeah, you know who the new coach is, Santosh Kashyap. And I don't know when the next matches are. Hi, or guten Abend, Roshan, when we see U20 player, for example. I don't know if they're going to play the I League or not. I'm not 100% clear on that. If the AFF will be able to implement what they want to implement. I know they want to implement something. So that's the challenge for the federation, and it will be interesting to see how they handle the matter. I think it's a challenge for the federation, but so far as I know, it's not been sorted. Supposedly, I'll do a video most probably tomorrow on the latest on the I League. But are they ready for senior national team football? Is anyone playing IS? I mean, I don't see any 18, 19, 20-year-olds really making the breakthrough where you say, you know what, exceptional talent. He needs to be given a chance in the national team. So that's my problem at the moment. That's why, again, Akash Sangwan, not the youngest. Jitin Mes, not the youngest. We're not talking about 18, 19, 20-year-olds. We're talking about 25, 25, 27, 28, 29-year-olds getting into the national team. Best and worst head coach for India, in your opinion, till now? Baman, I can only speak about the coaches that I've seen. For me, the best, Bob Houghton, right? The worst, yeah, most probably Mr. Steamach. Sir, your thoughts on Mumbai City should implement like a system of network marketing to gain fans, 6 fans to another 6 fans, another 6 fans to add up and get a decent amount of fans. I don't know if this kind of thing would work. Maybe it could be tried out, but yeah, I think Mumbai City has more fans than people think. And again, it's organic growth that you will need, and that's the challenge in a city like Mumbai. Sir, as Indian team won the SAF Cup, so it is right to say that we have talent problem. Akshat, winning the SAF Cup should be the most normal thing, you know. Um, the point here is, yeah, I don't know who watched it. Um, so therefore, yeah, this is something that we'll see now in the AFC U17 qualifiers. Let's see what these boys can do. Do you think Manolo's constant scrutiny after he joined as national coach has somehow affected his performance? I said too much pressure, constant scrutiny. Manolo, good question. I would think we've seen a change in Manolo of over a certain period of time over the last year. I would have said I he was a little more. I don't know what you feel. Do you feel the same? I feel he was a little more chilled out at Hyderabad. He was, much more calm. You know, um, it was okay at the start, and then Victor Rodriguez got injured, Sandesh got injured, and he got into this mode of trying to explain things, and I'm unhappy, and this, and the referees, and that, and again he's again talking about the referees at the moment. So therefore, for me, I don't know, this easiness has been lost, and that is, I don't know if it's going to work. The speed of Northeast United is just phenomenal. The way they work counter attack is just unbelievable. I said Pedro Benali is doing magic. Northeast United is just amazing. Yeah, but they have to win their matches. It doesn't matter if it's good or not, but at the end of the season, we will remember who's won what. And Northeast United, with all the good football that they play, yes, they've won the Duran Cup, but to me, still, that's pre-season tournament. So for me, Northeast United has to do more to get something out of this season. That's the challenge for Northeast United for this season. Hi, Roshan. When we see U20 players in ASA but not called up for U20 national, for example, with Venkatesh and others, where do you see the problem here? Um, I think there are 2, 3 candidates potentially. Um, for me, the first question is: are the players under 20 or under 17 or other things? Could that be a reason now that AIFF is a little bit careful? And has the AIFF under 20 coaching and scouting staff really done a proper scouting? Was Vinit Venkatesh, for example, on their list of players? I don't know, right? So that would be an interesting question. Who you would have picked as the next East Bengal coach, Roca or Bruzon? More a difficult one, but I know Oscar a little better. I know Roca won with BFC, but uh, yeah, I would pick Oscar, knowing Oscar a little. Did you watch last matches of UCL? Yeah, I watched some of the games over Tuesday and Wednesday night. What do you feel about Mohammedan Sporting and Bangan clash tomorrow? Oh, Mourinho, um, you know, the thing is, I don't know what to expect from Mohun Bagan. That's the problem. Is it going to be what it has been over the last few games? Is it going to be better? Is it going to be maybe even worse? I think Mohammedan will play its style, its class. Um, not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure what to expect. As far as the season has gone so far, I guess to me, Mohun Bagan. Yeah, I think I would rather go with Mohammedan Sporting as favourites for this game, if you ask me that way, right? So that's the challenge that we have, um, you know. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Right, nearly 20 minutes of the show, discussing Indian football. Um, if you're new to Arun Foot here on YouTube, welcome. My name is Unava Chaudhary, and if you like what you're hearing, what you're seeing, leave a like, share, and also do please subscribe. So far, we have now today 1,820 subscribers. Thank you very, very much. Closing in to the 2,000 mark, and only 5 likes, guys. We can do better, even though we're not that many tonight, but still, we're still a few of you are watching this. So thanks a lot. And yeah, keep supporting as always. Thanks to all of you. In my opinion, U20 team playing in our league is a bad idea in that too with a coach like Ranjan Chaudhary. They should have played friendlies earlier, but yeah, it's what it is. Rushabh, some of the thing, uh, for me, the under 20s playing in the I League is a good step because it gives these boys exposure, you know. So the thing is for them, it's about what is right and what is wrong. Now, friendlies before, yeah, nice. Would it? I don't think it would have made a difference to you know. They have done what they had to do. Lost Iran 0-1, and and India was supposed to beat Mongolia and Laos, right? So they've done what they were supposed to do. I think the I League gives them an exposure over a season which they normally don't get, so it's positive. Will Arsenal have its matches played on weekends from next season? Rushabh, I don't even know if the ISL will exist next year. And as long as the broadcasters want a match a day, you'll have 6 out of 7 days having matches. And then if you have now, let's say 14 teams next season, yeah, you most probably will have 6 match days and one double header. So yeah, that's gonna continue. Looks like Mohammedan will thrash Monbagan. Akash, let's wait and see. Sambit says Ashish Negi last day told Sumit Mitra play in deep in box, but last day Northeast United, you can see the goal dude up front. I think both had pros and cons. Yeah, Sambit, it depends on how the teams are set up and how what the coaches think. I agree, win is important, but at least Northeast are playing eye-catching and very good quality game. Viewers don't like slow and boring games. Akash, at the end of the day, mm, you know, um, it might be nice to see, but the question is at the end of the day, and the challenge will be um, play good football and win matches, right? It's nice to see that, but yeah. Tomorrow will last day of Million as Bangan manager. Let's see, Akash. Good morning, Joshua. Attended the FC Goa Northeast United FC game. Dreadful defending from us. We were lacking coordination, but enjoyed the 3-3 thriller. Right. What do you think of Graham Arnold being the new coach after Molina is sacked? I guess he will suit this Monbagan team more as this has many Aussie players. Messi lover. I don't know, you know. If first of all, if Graham Arnold is interested to come to India, that would be the first question. Secondly, will Molina be sacked at all? And is he on the radar of the club? Yeah, it's your opinion, but does he really suit what Mohun Bagan needs at this moment? That's the problem, right? We see very often now clubs looking at coaches who have coached in the ISL in the past. So the ISL amongst foreign coaches and foreigners has now become a merry-go-round. It seems, right? A lot of teams are doing that. Iker, Jingan, Yasir might be expected back soon after the national break. Yeah, supposedly they are set to, the one and of them might be back after for the first game after the break. So let's wait and see. I think that's one of the other reasons. You know, as a supporter of Mohun Bagan, I can tell my point of view. I don't want Shield every year, but all I want is good quality, fast-paced, dominating football from Mohun Bagan. Don't want boring games that win by penalty. Yeah, Akash. Then I think you are an exception, I think, amongst Kolkata Giant fans. As right. I think Ideally, the fans want good football and wins, or in the worst case, no need to play good but get wins. So that's the thing. If you want good football, it's great to hear because I think quality football needs to be there. But the question at the end of the day is, can these teams really provide that or not? That's the challenge, I guess, that we have at the moment. Stephen Harper says in his interview that next gen cup teams most have their not their best use 18, they had kind of B team and trial players, which kind of C team, and he confirmed with the Everton coaches. Yeah, some bit. I don't think there's much surprising. It's like India coming, the Indian under 17s coming to play Germany and Spain, and people think that they're playing with the best players from Stuttgart, from Augsburg, from Real Madrid, Atletico, and all. No, they're not. Brandon was then in attendance for the FC Goa Northeast United game today. Yeah. Um, Brandon most probably got a few days off after his game. He's in Goa, and then he will join the Indian national team. Yeah, Goa have Mumbai next. So let's, again, we know what is happening tomorrow, and maybe look once at the schedule of the ISL. One second, let me just open that. Matches. Yep. So looking at the matches, of course, tomorrow is the last match day, and the ISL restarts um, on Thursday, October 17th, with Northeast United FC versus Chennai FC. Friday has BFC versus Punjab FC. And then on the Saturday, FC Goa versus Mumbai City in the early kickoff. And the late kickoff will have East Bengal versus Mohun Bagan Supergiant. And yeah, one lucky me, hopefully, will be on the 19th of October in Kolkata at the Salt Lake Stadium watching that game. And then Sunday, it's Mohammedan Sporting versus Kerala Blasters. Maybe I'll get the chance also to watch that. Let me see if I can. I'll be there on those 2 days in Calcutta. Thursday, Friday, I'll be in Delhi. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to those games and let's see what happens. Yes, I'm looking forward to being in India very, very soon. Yeah, wrote it on Twitter today and on LinkedIn. Majority of U20 players won't be making to national team in future. That's what happened to last Arrows team. From that point of view, I believe it's a bad idea. Honestly, these funds could have been used for U23 team. Rushabh, the the Indian Arrows has been, if done properly, a team which has produced players, right? And if I look at Gurpreet, if I look at Preetham Kota, yeah, if I look at Probir Das, JJ, Anandika Ralte in those days, Shilton De Silva, and many more came through that team. Raju Gaikwad, captain at the time, right? So all these players have come through that team. And then the under 17 World Cup team, if you see Apuya develop, Prabsukan develop via the Indian Arrows program. Yeah, so it's had its value. So therefore, I don't agree. And for using for the under 23s, again, it's I think they're looking for how to make it possible. U17 national team should be included in I League too, just like U20 and I League. Both exposure and game time problem can be solved. Akash, let them sort it out with the under 20s in the I League first, and yeah. So to me, U17 is a little different because I think those boys need to be playing in their age groups and they get some level of exposure. But let's see. What do you prefer? Eye-catching football where you mesmerize everyone, or boring game and then win? Messi lover, honestly, win, right? If my team is playing, the result counts. Period. That's why I said the other day, India losing 0-1 to Iran. Thanks on one side to Iran of not being so clinical. But on the other side, listen, we were not good. But hey, I take the 1-0. If we played great, it's like, people telling me, oh, you know what, they played great and then lost. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Good example, Champions League. Aston Villa beat Bayern Munich 1-0, right? Bayern have only themselves to blame. They didn't score. They played great football, actually. It was not the best of matches, but they had enough chances to beat Villa, but they didn't score. Aston Villa, 2 chances, one VAR offside, the other one goes in. And John Duran is not going to hit that ball ever again like that, right? So These are the realities of football. The end result matters. Do you remember, let's say, who the best team in 2014 or 2010 in the World Cup was? Was it the world champion or was it some other team? This is something that we all need to remember. Diamond Harbour FC is going up crazy. Got promoted to I League 2 under Kivu Vicuña. Yes. Yeah, Akash. Big achievement because their aim always was to go up, um, and couldn't do it last season. Yeah, and this Anadin guy, yeah, Ajare of Northeast United is amazing. Benali brought very good players from Morocco. Northeast United FC under him has a good future. Let's wait and see. To me, Akash, I like the way they play. I like the way set up. I like the whole get up and feeling of Northeast United. But are they going to be able to get the results that I think, or you might think, that we might all think that they should get? Right? That's the question. For me, that's the simple question about Northeast United. That's the challenge for Northeast United to be able to, do they get this whole thing going? Right? And not sure. I'm honestly not sure if they're going to be able to do that, but they have the potential, they have the capabilities. Uh, 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 mm, so therefore, yeah, let's hope it works. Yeah. What is the necessity of this Indian team budget or a vision? And if you were the president of any football federation, what would the first thing you would do? Um, See, the Indian football team needs to have a budget under which you work and try to organize friendlies and trips abroad. So therefore, you need a budget. And the vision is, where are you taking Indian football? How are you professionalizing the game? How are you making our national teams more successful, our club football more successful? All these points that are important to make football bigger, grow further. I think that's the challenge that we have in Indian football. And at the moment, again, it's not, in my opinion, it's not working really. But again, we have to wait and see what happens. In my opinion, that's the very necessary. And it, if I were the president, or if I was in an important role, and again, if I was running the secretariat of the AIFF, for example, the first thing I would do, I would analyze and see I would try and take stock. You know, the point is that on one side, it's very simple. You have to take stock and analyze what's the situation. You can have great plans. First, you need to know how much money does the federation have. What kind of manpower does the federation have? Are the stakeholders willing to go with you and follow a vision that you want to implement and create? All these small little things. And then we can talk about, we want to take Indian football there, we want to take Indian football there. No, you have to do an assessment, a real assessment and the status quo, right? uh, and to me, without those things, we will get nowhere. That is my understanding of things. Might be right, might be wrong, but that's my understanding of things. That you need to know what you have, and then you take it to the next level, and then you can make changes. That's the challenge of the whole thing, right? um so therefore, um that's the challenge that I feel that is there. Aman says Northeast have good players, but there are many problems. Is that not extend the contract? For example, Tommy Urich. Aman, it's not about just extending the contract, or the player wanting to stay. There are different reasons. Certain players want to leave. Certain players, the club doesn't want to retain. Tommy Urich, great player, but Tommy Urich was injury prone, right? Tommy Urich, whenever he was playing, is top class professional, but again, injury prone. So it makes no sense to bring him back and say, okay, play 7 or 8 matches and see what you can do. But the rest of the season, let's say, play 1/3, and it's more than enough. Doesn't work. The player needs to be available theoretically for the whole season. What is the estimated budget if AFF has to run the operations? Rishabh, at the moment, it's in the region of about 120 crores. Do you see ISL going to have IPL like success, fan following, and will ISL sustain in future? Messi lover, the IPL is it's like you're comparing the ISL to the Premier League, right? The IPL is one of the most successful leagues in the world, right? So therefore, that comparison with the ISL is unfair. I think I was talking to someone actually today who's joined another team in the ISL today who I knew 10 years ago, and congratulated him today and said, 10 years ago, it was insane. I mean, I always say I'm very, very lucky that I was part of the first season of the ISL. Really, really loved it. And that's for me the main thing, that how can we change things for good, right? How do you make it more successful? And sustainability is an Indian football question. It's not just the ISL. ISL, the clubs, I League, its clubs, and then I League 2, I League 3. It is across the board a problem in Indian football, and we're not finding a solution to that problem. And therefore, that is something, if we can find a solution of sustainability, then Indian football, not only ISL, but Indian football will grow. But if ISL becomes sustainable and the clubs are breaking even and making a profit, that money will trickle down the system. And that's not happening, right? You need large scale investors who are putting in money, without whom this league would not be functional, right? And these are the challenges that Indian football faces today, and makes it very, very complex in regard to where it could, would, should, needs to go. That's the whole challenge of this project at the moment. That the ISL is in a situation where you think, can it really grow to something where it can challenge for things, for bigger things? And that's the challenge. Any update from the I League Task Force, Ochut? Nothing at all. Nothing, at least that I have heard of. Um, Again, they've put out a tender for TV production. Supposedly, uh, Sony Sports channels will broadcast the I League. Supposed to start on the 19th, but otherwise, I don't know if you've heard anything, but I at least am not aware of anything on that front, that things have really sort of happened. I don't know. Again, as I say, I can only speak for myself, and that's what I've not heard that has happened. So therefore, still waiting to see how things are changing and moving in the right direction. But at the moment, no news on the I League. But again, yeah, that's what it is at the moment, right? So we'll have to wait and see. 19th of October supposedly is the start date, which I found not the smartest, because you have it's the last, it's the day of the Kolkata derby, and I don't know if it makes sense to start. Maybe I would have done it one day later. What's your opinion on how Reliance runs ISL, and what do you think, whether their contract should be renewed or someone else should be roped in? Um, I think that, to answer your second part first, um, who would that someone else be? If they look at Indian football, no one's going to come forward. Let's be honest. The AIFF himself have tried to find someone, say, listen, come to us, buy out the rights of the federation, and yeah, that's not happening. So, uh, can Reliance run the ISL better? Yes, surely. And should their contract be renewed? I think we don't have any other option. Right? If Reliance pulls out, if FSTL shuts down, so to say, as a body, that marks the end, most probably, of the ISL. Why would they hang around? Look at, again, we are supposedly 2 weeks away from the start of the I League. Nobody knows what's happening. That's AIFF at the moment. I think teams like Mohun Bagan Supergiant, East Bengal, Kerala Blasters are making profits. Aman, they're quite far away from it. No Indian football team makes a profit. Anyone who says that is lying. Period. IPL has only seasonal fans. Football doesn't work like cricket tournament without ground connections. Local pride, a football club can't work. Agree. But if you see how the IPL clubs are trying to be active around the world, again, in India, cricket is something different, and the IPL is a 2-month tamasha now. It's working, and football There are success stories in these last 10 years of the IPL. Again, the Kerala Blasters and its connect, I think that's one. Even FC Goa has a better connect to its fans than any of the other Goan clubs. So it has worked. Even Mumbai City has, in small numbers, but still has got a much more loyal fan base than any other Mumbai team in the past ever had. So these are all small little things. Yeah. Even Chennai and Hyderabad BFC now. Do ISL Cup get TV broadcast revenue like Premier League clubs? No, they don't, because the broadcaster is not paying any money. I mean, if I want to play World Cup, we should have 50% of IPL success, and then only more and more investments will come. And do you think India can ever be a football nation like Spain or Brazil? Mesira, the point is to again comparing us to the IPL is unfair on Indian football. Yeah. So for me, 10% of the success of the IPL most probably would be enough for football to grow. You know, but can we get to that level? No. You know. And can we be a football nation? In theory, yes. But for that, the right steps need to be taken. You know, AFF should not sell 100% rights of ISL to any corporations. The club should have a joint committee along with the corporation. Akash, the ISL doesn't belong to the AFF. The ISL has been created by FS or Reliance IMG in the past. Now FSDL are owners of that. You know, so joint committee sounds fine, but you know, what corporation? Who will come forward? Who will does it? No corporation is coming forward. It's a loss making entity. How does these ISL clubs make money? They don't make money, Aman. That's the point. They're all loss making entities. They lose money every day, right? Can you explain how an average ISL club runs its operations? See, the operation of an ISL club is first operations around the team. You know, organize organize. You're forced to organize a ground, or you have a ground. Ensure that the ground is proper maintained, transport for the team, accommodation for the team, match day operations in regard to in and around the stadium. You've got a media team, you've got a marketing team who also are interlinked with those operational side of things. And yeah, that's how they run it, an ISO team. ISO clubs, especially the OG ISO clubs, don't make money. Yeah, gosh, that's the reality. If Goa spends a lot of money to use the Fort Stadium for police, fire, ambulance, and other services, yeah, they spend money, not that much, because most of the money that these ISL clubs somehow generate or get from their owners is spent on the players. How can we support ISL that can be successful? Needs to be much more fans. Get fans to come and watch matches live. Get fans to support the ISL, watch the streamings, be part of discussions on Indian football. Be part of it, and try and push it. That's the best way. What you can do, I guess. I'm talking if FSTL leave ISL, then FS should involve the club for its management, should sell the management rights separately. Um, Akash sounds something very logical, but the AFF is not in the position to sell the management rights to someone else. Who's going to come in and, I don't know, lose X amount of crores every year to run this thing? Income from ticket prices are not as great either, as for some clubs, their ticket prices are very expensive. The ticket prices are expensive, but look at the numbers of fans coming, right? So therefore, ticket prices maybe make 2, 3, maybe 2, 3, 4 crores, maybe max. As far as I know, there's a published report which shows that Mohun Bagan is probably the only club that is on break even. Mohun Bagan is losing 40 to 50 crores. They're saying that they're break even because Sanjeev Goenka is pumping in extra money into it, which he's writing off somewhere else. So Mohun Bagan is most probably the club with the biggest minus in the league, Messi lovers. So therefore, if there's any of these reports, they're BS. They're fooling the people. They're just simply lying. Honestly, ISL on weekends needs to happen at 10 games on weekdays is really difficult. Rushabh, matches happening on weekends, are there more fans coming? No, they're not. This is a television product. India is a television market. There are more couch potatoes than people wanting to watch matches live. So therefore, this thing of having ISL games 6 out of 7 days, it's been there from day one. I wasn't a fan at the start, but I now like that thing that we have matches, you know, the way they are. I guess this new broadcast deal does give some parts to the club. No, it doesn't. The current deal is a zero. Messi 11. There's no broadcast deal. You know, so not happening. Are we going to play World Cup ever, or going to have this same discussion again even after 15, 20 years later? Pratik, I wish that in 15, 20 years we don't have this discussion and we can be at a World Cup. That would be great. But if I look at my now 26 years plus that I'm involved in Indian football, we are having the same discussions as we had in the early 2000s. And at the moment, things look worse than they looked in the early 2000s. Everything looks flashy, you know. What's with Mumbai City FC now? Karan, not settled yet. Simply said, they're not settled yet. They'll need some time. I think it's good that they're getting a break now. Gonna regroup, and then we'll see, and hopefully see a better Mumbai City on Saturday, 19th October in Goa against FC Goa. Mohun Bagan, East Bengal, and Mohammedan have their own stadiums, but they don't use their own stadiums, which can reduce the loss. Akash, uh, none of these stadiums are of a quality that they could host ISL matches. And secondly, none of these stadiums are own stadiums. All three clubs share it with another club, and the custodian of the grounds is the Indian Army because it's on the Calcutta Maidans. So, in all practicality, yes, it is the Mohun Bagan ground, it's the East Bengal ground, it's the Mohammedan sporting ground. Yeah, it's not theirs. Weekends clash with Premier League fixtures too. Yeah, Joshua, that's another point. Yeah, European football on the weekends is another thing. 7:30, 6 or 7 evenings works, I guess. Is the money made by ISL going into the pockets of Reliance and broadcasters? Who's Rishabh, who's making money? Who said anyone is making money? They're losing also money. India should join Oceania zone. Yeah, too far away. Oscar Bruzon for East Bengal. Your thoughts? Ochut, interesting if Oscar gets the job. Manager, I remember I recommended his name as an assistant coach at Mumbai City in 2015, and then he joined the team. Not Oscar is also a straight shooter like Steven Constantine. I don't know if a straight shooter. So will be interesting to see if he has changed in his time in Bangladesh. That he's more mellowed down and more pragmatic and more of a media man as Carlos was or Igor Stimac was, or if he's going to address things and how much of a free hand he gets. That's another thing, right? In East Bengal, I don't even know if the squad that was put together is Scarlet's squad or if it's the squad of the club officials. No one can tell me that. Who will finish above Mumbai City FC or Mohun Supergiant? Mumbai City will win the league, so don't worry. I heard that the Ministry of Defence don't allow them for renovations. Exactly. I do dread the upcoming Mumbai fixture. We could be in for a long, long match. Oh, Joshua, that that was, yeah, one of the best matches that one can have as someone who supports Mumbai City. That comeback for the history books. Mohun Bagan ground is shared with CCFC's Bengal with Arians. Can you tell me about Mohammedan Sporting Ground? Ooh, Pratik, that's a good question. Mourinho, maybe you know who's the, was it Howrah? No, no, it was not Howrah Union. No? Who was the club that Mohammedan shares its ground with? Oh, good question. I don't, Pratik, I don't know at the moment. I would have to think. Maybe Mourinho or someone else knows it. All the Kolkata clubs are squatters. Army lease expired long back for all of them. So yeah, all the Maidan clubs actually, yeah, are illegally on the Maidans. Joshua doesn't matter. People who wants to watch ISL will watch, and people who only watch European leagues will never watch ISL. Doesn't matter weekdays or weekends. Also a point, Akash. Yeah. Why don't ISL clubs try newer coaches? Oh, Pranjal, that's an interesting question, which I also have been thinking about. Because the ISL seems to me to have become a merry-go-round, right? You fire him, you come in, we exchange our players and do this and do this, do this. I'm not sure if that's the best way. I think there would be um, yeah, that would be it. Any update on of Ambedkar Stadium renovation, Rushabh? I saw videos from the Subroto Cup a few weeks ago, and there the stadium looked old. As I don't know, supposedly it was supposed to happen, but yeah, it hasn't happened so far. Mohammedan Sporting with Howrah Union. Thank you, Ochut. Yes, then I knew. Um, yeah, that's something which I knew. So then, yes, it's um, something which is good. Howrah Union have the no, they don't, Pratik. They have the Howrah Maidan as a stadium, but that is of the Howrah municipality. It does not belong to Howrah Union. None of these clubs actually have a ground, right? These three are the only ones, so to say, who say with the smaller teams that they have a ground. Ticket prices go to the club or to the ISL. Ticket prices go to the club. Uh, um, you know, but again, you have to pay off. There is a certain percentage of tax. GST, this, that, everything. Yeah, so you have to pay off. You're doing your ticketing now online, so you're paying off a lot of things. Not sure about Mohammedan Sporting Territory. Never ventured that side. Is it so, Mourinho? Okay, interesting. I think you should be going there. Maybe Howrah Union. Yeah, I thought so as well. Yeah. But weekend schedule will definitely increase viewerships and stadiums will be quite full. Will quite full. Akash, for example, yesterday Mumbai played. Day before yesterday, Mumbai played BFC on a Wednesday, and the stadium was full in Mumbai. So this logic of playing on weekend stadiums will be full is doesn't work. You know. So therefore, I don't think it makes a difference. I honestly don't think it's make a difference. I think there is this Indian fan who wants to have matches on a this is also what the IPL has created in Indian context, and that is something maybe which could be working. And for me, yeah, might not be my liking or your liking, but that seems how it is. About the Fatota Stadium, to a big compliment from a lot of fans that the stadium was not cleaned at all. The washrooms were unusable and unpleasant. Oh, a big complaint. I said, sorry, not compliment. Oops. Uh, is that then on FC Goa, Joshua, or is it something with the Sports Authority of Goa? Who's supposed to keep the stadium clean, right? Jorge Costa could be good option for East Bengal. Will make solid defensive team. Okay, Karan looks like Oscar Bruzon is heading. Yeah, playing in smaller ground of Kishore Bharti to a much bigger ground at Yo Bharti Kirang, the Namasawala Sporting game changes tomorrow. Could be, um, but I mean, sadly, most probably I won't be able to watch the match, but I would like to see it and watch it. You know, so yeah, let's see. I think it's the sports authority. Yeah, Joshua, I thought so as well. It's on them to upkeep the stadium. Again, of course, branding and other things is with FC Goa, but there are certain things which remains with the local governments who are mainly managing these sporting properties. If ISL shuts down their shop, what may happen? Your thoughts, Akash? I think most of the franchisees, maybe all, might say thank you very much, Tata bye bye to Indian football. You know, so let's see. Let's see what happens. To me, it is imperative for the AIFF to ensure Reliance stays. If they find another one, I wish them all the best. But at the moment, I don't see anyone coming forward and saying, "Hey, listen, I want to do Indian football." I don't see that happening, if you ask me. So therefore, that's going to be the challenge. Since you choose Mumbai City FC, I challenge they won't. take Messi lover. We'll speak each other at the end of the season. What do you think is required to start academy, or how much capital anyone would need? Depends on what size, what are you doing, what age groups. Um, you know, so that there's no fixed figure to it. There's no upper limit to it. I will watch tomorrow's derby. Akash, enjoy live or on stream. Well, as we are aware about youth leagues, so how the hell so called Messiah of Indian football says his batch of 20 going to make qualify for World Cup. How so without a proper youth league? Pratik, ask him. I can't answer for other people. And again, we've had World Cup claims. One football. Okay. Um, we've had a lot of people claiming a lot of things over the years. Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and blah, blah, blah. And we know where we are. We are worse than we were 10, 15, 20 years ago. And it's the system has to be blamed. All the stakeholders need to take blame. And yeah, football academies, especially football training centers, all these things, so it is. It's difficult, very, very difficult in an Indian context. What do you think of the betting apps being the principal sponsor? Messi Lover, if I like it or you like it or someone else likes it or not, these are the only companies who've come forward to sponsor Indian football. Reality. So therefore, we have to live with it. At the moment, we'll have to live with it. Um, and this is legal betting in the sense of saying, even though it's surrogate, in the sense of better this way than people doing illegal bettings in some, I don't know, illegal ways. There are a lot of ways these betting apps are tracked. So better this way or that way, even though I don't have any interest in betting. And I for myself have never actually placed a bet on any football game. um mm, Nothing much to add, Akash. I agree to you. Nearly an hour. Wow, didn't realize it really went fast tonight. Um, those of you who might be new to the channel, welcome to Arun Foot and late night discussion on Indian football. Who would have thought that we would do something like this? Like, share, and subscribe to the video. Spread it out to other people as well. And yeah, 13 likes so far. Thanks a lot, guys. Spread it out. 1820. So again, most probably no one new watching tonight. Whenever I ask him, he says, nothing about the players, coaches, anything as well as the ground. You better see without judging. Yeah, but again, this is easily said. What's the track record? As any of these academies produced, um, any Asian level football. I'm not even talking world level. I'm talking Asian. Who has produced ever an Asian level Indian footballer? No one. And that to me is the biggest problem in all these conversations, right? In all the conversations that we're having. Um, mm, so therefore, I don't know. For me, it's very difficult um, to judge this because I've seen a lot of Indian youth teams over the years, and yeah, There's no logic to me that with more academies, with more coaching, with more of a system, with more this, more that, the talent base is getting worse. So there must be reasons to it, right? To me, there are, let's see what they can do out of it. Only Mumbai has good sponsors. Yep, Akash. Others as well. Let's not underestimate them. Your thoughts about BBFS and Southampton MOU? The Bachambutia Football Schools and Southampton Football Club of the English Premier League have announced an MOU. Let's see how they work it out. I've done some work in the past for Southampton. Yeah, 20 years ago. Wow. And a club with a very, very good youth system, brought up a lot of players over the years. Not only players, but even coaches. Think about Pochettino, for example, is a former Southampton coach. So if BBFS learn the right things, yeah, doesn't harm. On what basis Ranjan Chaudhary is selected to be coach of India U20? One of these is Group for FC qualification. Karan, I would like to know myself. A few days ago, did actually a video on the question AIFF how they do they appoint their coaches. Especially in connection with the appointment of Santosh Kashyap as the India women's coach. Make a review of SLK after the end of their season. Akash, I have a feeling no one is interested anymore. I don't know what you guys feel. I'm not watching. If you want me to make a review, I would have to watch. I'm not watching actually. Just once in a while, after I think every 2-3 days, I just watch and see what are the results. I don't even know who's top of the table at the moment. I think the whole PR shebang, it's not worked. It would be funny if ISL shuts down. BFC Monoism would be coming back to I League, especially BFC, because they were the first one to ditch I League. Rushabh, let's see. Let's see what happens because, yeah, what the future holds. How many ISL clubs to get from sponsorship, basically? It varies from clubs to clubs. 5 to 15, maybe 20 crores officially. Unofficially, they're quoting, I don't know, ridiculous figures and saying we don't make losses. Probably the reason why people don't go to the stadium is because the police authorities, since they behave improperly and there are too many restrictions to a normal fan. Messi lover, you know what? I hear this a lot from an Indian football perspective, and these are no reasons to not go to a football game. I have gone to football games around the world. Yes, they could be. You feel that could be restrictive, but again, they follow rules and regulations. You might not like it, I might not like it, but they're rules, and then I follow the rules. If you want to go to a football game, you will find a way to go to a football game. We always look for reasons why people cannot go, you know? So that's something that is a reality. I couldn't understand how SLK got so many giant sponsors, but ISL couldn't, where I play see SLK has failed misery. Who are the giant sponsors, Akash? Have you heard from one of these what figures they're spending on the league? They're not big. There might be big names, but the sponsorship figures are minuscule, right? So this is understanding and reading how things. It might look nice, but look at the quality. I mean, the CFL is of a better quality than the SOK, or the Kerala Premier League most probably is of better quality than that. That's the reality of the status of this league, right? So therefore, that's a big problem. If Mahindra Adani wants to sponsor, then why not in ISL? And so they, as well as clubs, will also benefit from it. Messi lover, because they've entered the SLK for small little money. ISL sponsorship is much higher. So therefore, um, very little money, right? On a personal level, I can say I have people around who would go for games regularly if matches were happening on weekends. It's very difficult to attend games after office hours. You make time. People around the world do that. They make time. They travel around the world. People set their work schedule according to their club's games, right? So again, I see no excuse. Last year I went to Jamshedpur FC versus Mohun Bagan game in Jamshedpur. Everything was smooth. Yeah, again, I've been to matches across India. Yeah, Blasters. Goa, Mumbai, Delhi, of course, Kolkata. I don't know. I've never faced. I know. I look up in advance what's allowed, what's not allowed, and then take certain things and don't take certain things. Ranjan Chaudhary, just a normal CFL level coach. I've seen him coaching in my locality ground where we played. How upset made him U20 coach. A question for the AIFF. In my view, budget cap is a must for ISA clubs to sustain. Uchut, yes. Um, the question is, who will implement it and how? If you look, for example, Major League Soccer in the US, um, they 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 follow all your financial transactions. Here, let's say you say, listen, you know what? I'm spending, I don't know, a crore on a player. And another crore, you pay the player, I don't know, backhander or sponsorship or whatever. So therefore, in Indian context, because this whole jugaad business, again, Anwar Ali is a jugaad business. Very good example, right? Player is not happy with the money, he wants more money, creates a situation. The player status committee falls for it, sorry to say that. And yeah, we have the situation. So therefore, this is the reality. So budget cap, yes, but where do you cap the budget? Do we cap it so low that clubs say, let's say you spend 20 crores? Suddenly the set of foreigners are going to get worse as well. And the Indian players, I don't know if they say, accept that. I have very difficult to say. If IPL ever can go after office hours, yeah, Aman, very well said. Just don't carry your bag to the stadium. They don't allow bags, umbrellas. Yeah. If you have been to Mumbai local, I hope you would understand what I say is difficult. Rishabh, all is possible. I've flown from around the world to watch matches, so yeah. One of the biggest reasons I've started going to ISL games again is to feel the atmosphere of professional football games. Watching Premier League games on TV is one thing, but ISL gives us a great opportunity. Yeah, Joshua, great to hear that. And this should be the attitude, right? This should be attitude, you know. Um, so therefore, um, and again, watching out of experience. Watching a game of football on television, and I'm not saying this just to you, I would say this to anyone and everyone. The experience, the match day experience in a stadium is often very, very different than watching it in a stadium. And that's the reality. In my opinion, that's the reality. And if people like it or not, but that's the reality of things. That watching it at a ground is much, much more fun than watching it on telly. And if you watch it on telly, sometimes you think the quality of the football is much, much better. I've seen matches. I remember when was this? Few 5, 6 years back, Tottenham versus Man City at Wembley. Terrible. The day earlier was an NFL football game, and then you see that and like terrible. So these are all realities. I think it should be how to implement the budget cap. Akash, as I said, very difficult. Indian Jugaad will work around it. What kind of team do you prefer? Barca type of team or Madrid type of team would have its own homegrown players and the other have the budget to buy and start? Messi Lover, to just say that Real Madrid buy players is wrong because Real Madrid also does once in a while do produce their own set of players. Um, I like something like a Bayern Munich more than both those two clubs because Bayern, my favorite club, I have had the pleasure of working for them as well. Um, you know, so therefore, they produce their own players. At the moment, good example, Pavlovic in the past, Müller, Thomas Müller, Gerd Müller, of course, Schweinsteiger, Lahm, David Alaba, but also by players, right? Like Harry Kane. One can make two I-League clubs with one onward. Nice one, Akash. I think clubs need to think creative ways to make revenue. For instance, Saltic and Given Day at least has more than average 20K fans if you can sell at least 10-15% of food beverages. Yeah, are they getting that in, or is that also government controlled? That would get me great chunk of revenue. You match days in Indian conditions difficult to make money. Well, how's the culture there in Germany for the daily people with football around? Could you tell more about it? Pratik, they built some, there are fans who are crazy who built their lives around it, right? They not only attend the home matches, they travel, Bayern Munich fans, Borussia Dortmund, all these guys, English fans, German fans, French, Spanish, Italian, Scots, I don't know, whatever. They plan their life around their clubs. Um, yeah. Borussia Dortmund fans a few weeks ago would have been in Rotterdam to watch Borussia against Feyenoord, would have watched them against Celtic the other day. Leverkusen fans would have been in Munich, and then they would be at home against Milan, and before they would have traveled. So they travel. I've watched a few CFL matches in ground, felt much better than watching a European match on TV. People are screaming, dancing. It's always fun. Yeah, gosh. Seeing matches in stadiums like watching it in 4K because I've been used to poor quality broadcast for years now. Okay. Emirates do have the same what ISL has a cap structure and joining fee for every club. No, Messi Lover, their structure is much more organized and settled. You cannot compare the ISL is immature compared to what Major League Soccer has. That's to me it's one of the best structures that there is in pro football around the world. So therefore, that's something difficult for us to compare with. And their caps are brutal, right? And they also ensure that they say, listen, you have to invest, let's say, 250 million in a new football only stadium. You can't be playing in a multi-sport stadium or in an American football stadium. It's therefore, New York City FC now. They've been playing at the stadium of the New York Yankees. They're sharing a stadium with a baseball club, and now they're looking to build their own football stadium. And people are need for that. Even there is sometimes not even clean source of water. That's something, of course, which is a problem, right? We're talking about food and beverages, and you know on the Maidans, you're happy if you get Libucha, right? So therefore, yeah, lemon tea, nothing more, nothing less. Right, 1 hour, 12 minutes. Those who might be new, welcome. Arun Foot here on YouTube. If you like what you're seeing, do like, share, and subscribe. 15 likes so far. Thank you very much, guys. And yeah, night session. We're very, very limited community, but hopefully other people will watch it. Right. But lemon tea is also not available in Salt Lake. Shrem, I had it last year. I had it at the Salt Lake Stadium in an ISL game. Was it East Bengal? Yeah, it was an East Bengal game. I think ISL should follow NFL model of introducing halftime program food and beverages. Akash, cost. Yeah, sounds nice. Food and beverages is something people are not willing to spend really. Maybe in other places, but Kolkata very difficult. Very difficult. They want ideally everything should be for free. And halftime shows hasn't worked in an ISL context. So therefore, that's also a reality, right? If I like it or not, these are all realities of what football is in an Indian context. Right, slowly wanting to come to an end to this late night discussion. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Thought of doing this and then trying to get it in. Um, so this is something which is there. But in IPL, how it happens, Shem, in the IPL, people are willing to pay 20, 30,000 for a ticket for hospitality, right? Don't compare it with football. I just said it a little early to others. So therefore, yeah. Well, for the matches in Salt Lake Stadium, Bidhannagar police has all the say and so for arranging and handling everything. They are the worst. Everyone suffer because of them truly. I'm thinking, yeah, but they are the boss, right? If I like it, you like it, or the clubs like it. Welcome, Joshua. Well, it's always good to talk to you and listen to you. Thank you, Akash. Welcome. I try and do that. And Messi Lava says, do you think cricket has damaged football more because cricket in India is a godlike thing? I don't think cricket has damaged football. It's cricket has just outgrown every other sport in India, and football needs to, yeah. The PSC are selling tickets for free tickets. Yeah, I'm on for them. with all the logistics with taxes, this and everything, it's easier to just allow people in for free. Need to rest now, straighten my voice a bit from chanting through the game. All right, Joshua, rest yourself. Crazy 3-3. Good night, Karan. And I'll try, but I'm not sure if I can do one tomorrow. I've got Durga Puja preparations and a meeting as well, so I might not even be able to watch the match. Maybe I'll do another late night session. Let's see. But I'll surely have to make a video tomorrow because this was episode 499 of Candid Football Conversations here on my channel, Arun Foot. So therefore, yeah, that's gonna um, go into the 500s tomorrow. Let me see what I can think, what I can do, and then hopefully maybe a late night discussion. I don't know if I can do it. Otherwise, I'll be back on Sunday evening. And as always, let me take Akash's point. I never watched IPL matches at stadium. How much it's different from ISL games in terms of management hospitality. It's like a Premier League game. Yeah, Aman says it's crazy. Yeah, that's why. It's different world. Right, everyone. Thanks. As always, keep watching Arun Foot. As I said, I did a video today on India, Vietnam, and earlier yesterday, what kind of a squad did Manolo pick? East Bengal, what kind of a coach, and other things on these clubs. Watch it, share it, pass it on, get more people involved. As always, thanks a lot. And yeah, Akash says it. Good night, guys. I'll see you latest on Sunday night.